Hello folks and welcome to round 6 of the TRR 2020 Championship. We're just waiting on a new server because this server is apparently too laggy for 40 cars on the Oval at Rockingham, so Elmo is currently probably running around his house trying to sort us out with the new server. So, in fact I think the new server is ready, so we should be getting underway pretty soon. Everyone just needs to leave the server and reconnect when it goes up. Anybody trying to connect to the server for the race needs to just hold fire because the server name will be the same. You'll just be reconnecting to the exact same server in just a few moments. So yeah, the current server's offline and the new server will be going up any moment now. So yeah, the new server's up. Feel free to join. Today's qualifying will be slightly different to other rounds. It's going to be one-shot quali, so you'll get one out lap, one flying lap, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. Right, so yeah, we're going to be a little bit late starting here. So while the server's fine, it does seem to be the wrong weather currently. Different weather to everyone's practiced in. Not that that makes a lot of difference at the Oval, but it would be nice to have some sunshine for once. So maybe the track will get reloaded before the start of quali. Today's format is two 21-lap races. So another fairly short round, but probably the longest event that's going to happen is going to be the qualifying, because normally it's quite a short qualifying session. But today it's going to be slightly different because the drivers are going to be doing one-shot quali, which is often more interesting than the other quali formats that we do. So as far as I know, Framaris has been invited to the server. Not Framaris, Fraz. FM Fraz to do the one-shot quali. Because it's one-shot quali, we're going to do it without TV directed to begin with, so we'll just be using LFS, and we'll have the results board on screen, so that every car who sets a lap will appear on the timing board. But then we'll start the TV director for the race. Not sure what the delay is right now. I think we're just waiting for Rocky to get everything underway. Drivers are currently just running around for a bit of practice. Probably trying to get used to the new weather, even though I reckon that's going to change in a minute. So yeah, apologies for the delay if you're just joining. We've had to move to another server. Apparently Rocky's had some wheel issues. Not sure quite why it's such a delay. Just need to get qualifying underway here. Just setting the server to be clear day. So yeah, now we're going to try and organise a one-shot quali without Discord, so this will be interesting to see whether everyone listens. Alrighty, I think we are actually finally ready to get going, so let's head to the track at long last. And now LFS isn't being picked up by OBS, fantastic. Could anything else go wrong today? There we go. Right, so Rocky's going to call people out one by one. They're going to do a lap, and yeah, the grid will be formed. So this will be interesting. So he can't set people out into the path of other cars, hopefully, so that no one can get a draft advantage. So we'll see how well this goes. Wonder who's going to be first out onto the grid. Car number 1 would make sense. Pedro waiting in the pits. Dudu's joined. Nope. Come on, Pedro. Nope. Not quite sure what we're waiting on here, but hopefully we'll get underway. Right, Pedro's finally leaving the garage, so that's a good sign. So yeah, looks like we're going to get our first lap on the board, finally. Oh, okay. So Pedro's lining himself up for his first flying lap, or his only flying lap in this case. Someone else is leaving the pits, probably going to leave the pits right in front of him, so we'll see. Hopefully he doesn't get in the way. No, it should be just about okay. So yeah, this is Pedro's one and only time lap. It's not really easy to see where people are losing time on the oval, so we'll just watch from the outboard. Pedro comes round, turn 4, and crosses the line with a 31.9. So Pedro will now spectate, and the next cars across the line will be Zeban to start his first flying lap. Looks like we're going down in car number order, not championship order. So there won't be any real last kind of build up. It's just going to be car number order as opposed to championship order. Zeban comes around the last corner, crosses the line, slower by just about a tenth. Catilla about to finish his flying lap. This is a good way to run qualifying on the oval, mainly because it would just be a draft fest otherwise. Everyone tries to fight to get a lap. Catilla goes third for now. Next we've got TJ. Round the final corner, and he crosses the line with... Oh no, this is to start his flying lap, my mistake. Not hanging around on his outlap. I suppose you wouldn't want to. You need to spool the turbo up fully. You need to get up to top speed by the time you reach the last corner. It's the fastest sector 1, or the fastest split time I've seen, I think. So let's see what this is. Nice and smooth. And second. So yeah, Pedro still keeps his lead. Now we're on board with Frank, who is about to finish his flying lap. I think Frank's a new entry into the series this week. 6-speed driver, wearing an Ixion skin, so a bit of conflict as to which team he's representing. There is a mandatory skin rule in this series, so I don't know if there's any penalty for Frank for not using the right skin, but he's not wearing the right skin, and he crosses the line in 5th. We're now going to watch Rocky do his flying lap. Around the final corner. Not the best split time, so not expecting this to be anywhere near the front. Probably 5th or 6th. Yeah, 6th for Rocky, 32.5. Next it's going to be fast. Another driver who's wearing the wrong skin. He's wearing a Last Lap Motorsport car skin with the wrong number. Normally Yes Motorsport have their own skins, but apparently it's week 6, so people are either not being bothered to create skins anymore, or they just forgot. It's a pretty good sector time. If he carries on, it should be good enough for 3rd or 4th. Probably not good enough to get 1st or 2nd for fast here. See where it puts him. 3rd, yeah. Then it's Ben, just about to start his open. Oh, he's starting his fast lap now. Whoever's starting these cars is doing a really good job of not sending the next car out in front of cars that are already on track, so fair play. Slightly faster than Rocky's split, but it's not going to be a top time this from Ben. Might split Frank and Rocky. We might just beat Frank. Hits the wall, goes 7th. That's Hydro 18NL. Lots of colours on his skin, rainbow, but not many colours in his name, so maybe someone needs to show him how to use the coloured names in Live for Speed, because I'm sure he'd have a rainbow name if he could. Rounds the final corner on his hot lap. Split time wasn't great, so this will be a 7th or 8th. 8th for Hydro. Next we've got Alonso, who is on his hot lap already. So getting all the TRR drivers out of the blocks early doors here. There are a lot of them in this league actually. So it's good to see that the organising team have fielded a lot of cars. As Alonso seems to be braking around the final corner. Definitely don't need to brake around here, Alonso. It's flat out all the way in the XRR, and that is a 33.1, easily the slowest time we've seen today, and probably the slowest time we will see today. As in, oh, Gabor has left the pits in front of someone. This isn't good. He would have had a slight tow. Crin got in his way a little bit, so not good there from whoever was setting people off. Gabor should probably have to redo that lap, considering he got a bit of a tow. We'll see what this is. It was a good split. If he goes pole, it was an influence from the... Yeah, okay, so he goes 4th. Not brilliant, and now he's going to get in Crin's way a little bit. Yep, oh, yeah, Crin's going to have to restart that lap. That is dreadful. Alright, now we've got Ayub. Gabor should have got out of the way quicker than that. That's not acceptable. Ayub starts his fastest, his flying lap. Hopefully Crin is allowed to have another go at that because, well, I'm guessing everybody saw it. Everyone saw what happened. Crin was set out in front of Gabor, moved out of Gabor's way, and then Gabor didn't move out of his way when he crossed the line, so very sporting. But anyway, Ayub comes across the line, decent split, goes mid-pack, goes 6th. Next we've got Crin is being sent back out, but he's being sent out in front of Magic here, so this isn't good. So hopefully he doesn't get in the way. Magic is on his hot lap now, so yeah, Crin needs to It looks like he's already up to speed, so there's not going to be any problems there. You can see him just going around the last corner there. So, Magic coming up to the final corner. What's it going to be? It's an okay split. Oh, he shifts up and lifts. This won't be great. He's gone up into a gear he didn't need to go up into. 10th for Magic, and he's ruined his engine. Next, it's WCL Boz. Haven't seen him so far this year. At least I don't think so. Boz starts his first time lap, or his only time lap. Got about 40 cars on the track, so this is going to take a fair amount of time to work out all of the starting order, but I quite enjoy one-shot quali. I wouldn't be against them employing this quali strategy for the whole series. I don't know if they have. I think they might have done. It's an alright lap from split from Boz there. The only problem with one-shot quali is when you go to a big track, as Boz goes 13th, you end up with quite a lot of waiting around because you have to be careful not to send too many cars out at once so that they don't trip up with each other. So the other Catilla, the younger of the pair, comes around the last corner and goes 10th. It's quite surprising, only Catilla's normally right at the front. Another WCL driver, Soini, rounds the final bend. And it's a 32.32, decent attempt. 11th. We've got Thomas Salmonen. Crin's set a lap, by the way. He's done a 32.2. Must have missed him. So Crin managed to finally set a lap. Salmonen rounds the final corner, and it's going to be a 32.04. So yeah, third place for Salmonen. Good effort. Now it's Michael, who's also just about to finish his hot lap. Decent split, so top 10 definitely. 7th for Michael. And it's T. Paulson. Hits the wall, not great. It's an okay split though, so if that didn't affect him that much, hopefully this could be a top 5. Really wide line into the last corner. Does manage to hit the apex, but yeah, really wide entry. And what is it? 32.15. So yeah, that extra touch or that wide line not really helping him there. It was a good split otherwise. Next we've got B2R Ivor. There's an NRT driver behind him. Who is it? It's Pete. Okay, so Pete might be getting a tiny bit of draft. Probably not enough, but yeah. IVA gets 32.1. He needs to get out of the way though. Oh, okay. Not brilliant, but hopefully didn't impact GP's line through turn 1. Very nice split from GP here. Wonder what this is going to be. Could be in contention for pole. All depends on the last corner. What's it going to be? It's second. Only the second driver inside the 30, inside the 31. So 100th in it, separating pole and second place. An even better split there from Silver. So Silver could tie or beat Pedro here. If he matches his time, he goes second. If he beats it, well, say no more. Rounds the final corner and does in fact take pole by 0.02 of a second. Next, it's Rick Cardle, currently on a hot lap. It's not going to be good enough for pole, but it's good enough for 11th. Trespasser just on his outlap. The stream quality tonight isn't brilliant. I did run a stream test earlier, as Trespasser goes 5th with a 3202. I need to work out what's going on, because just for some reason tonight it's just not been running very well, so apologies if the stream is a bit jittery or mushy. I need to look into why. I did update my graphics drivers a couple of days ago, which could be the reason, but I'll look into it. P. Koivinen's coming around the last bend, and he does a 1:32.32, good enough for 20th. Sorry, not a 1. 32 second lap. 0.32. It's Elmo, who was rushing around before this trying to set up the backup server, this server that we're currently on. So fair play. Not a great first split. Good enough for 19th. Not bad considering he did basically no practice. Sick now on his hot lap. Again, kind of middle of the road split time, so we're looking mid-grid here, maybe around 15th. Sid goes 13th, so Unite now comes around the last corner. Interesting skin, I like that. It's like an old NASCAR skin. 31.96, there's a tie for pole, but because Unite set it last, second, he will go second. So this is why we normally do one-shot quali and reverse championship order, so that the higher up the championship you are, the later your attempt, rather than it being based on the number that you entered with. So you have an advantage if you currently you have an advantage if you chose a very low driver number. As Texas went 28th with that attempt. Saw him downshifting across the first split. Dude's got a bit of a draft here. Who's that ahead of him? Not sure, but they're on their outlap. That's Gemini ahead. Dudu goes 15th. Sorry, not 15th. Yes, 16th. Sorry. Gemini now on his hot lap. Yeah, this is another middle of the road. This could be 13th, 14th, around there. It's getting quite busy in that middle pack there with the times. I mean, it's going to be close. It's only a 30-second lap, really, so 32.13. Yep, Gemini goes 14th. Here comes Roni on an outlap. The stream is currently utter mush on my end. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, across the line with a 32 flat for Roni. Nice power slide. I like that. Flamboyance, points for flamboyance. No cars in the race, interesting. So is that everybody? Is everybody set a lap? 33 cars? Looks like it. Looks like that's everybody. Thought we had slightly more people than that. Okay, I'm going to just quickly set up TV Director, and I'm sure we'll be ready for the race in just a few minutes. Welcome back. We've got Elmo in the stream interview channel waiting for an interview after that qualifying. Hey Mo, you here for an interview?
Yep.
How was your quali considering you didn't
Slightly
do any...
disappointed with that. I messed up the final turn before the hot lap, so I was down on speed.
Aye, well, can't blame you since you were busy setting up the server minutes before the start. Well done for getting a backup server online for everybody so we can race.
Just about.
Just about,
Once
yeah.
I remembered what port was.
I like the grey XRR livery, it's quite nice. I don't know whether we had that before, but I don't remember.
Can't remember.
No.
It's already on the XRT thing, so...
Aye, well, yeah, should be fun. Two 21 lap races, starting right in the middle of it, so... Yeah.
Lots to make up.
Lots to make up indeed. Any word on when we're going to get going?
I haven't been paying attention. No idea. Apparently we're ahead of time, so...
Somehow we've ended up being ahead of time. Yes, we are currently running 10 minutes ahead of schedule, which is remarkable considering we started what I thought was 15 minutes late for quali. So Rocky had for some reason...
We had a FM Pro doing the call-outs.
Yeah, and somehow still managed to send Kryn out in front of Gabor, and then Gabor...
Yeah, that relies on people actually setting off on time.
I know, true, but still, it's unfortunate.
And paying attention.
Yeah. Gabor overtook Kryn and then decided to... Are we getting going?
I think we're going shortly.
Alright then, we'll head back to the track and get ready for the start. Cheers for the interview, Mo, and we'll speak to you after the race if you're up for it.
Yeah, probably.
Cool.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So yeah, sounds like we're just about to get underway again. If my sound will ever come back in LFS. Not ideal. There we go. So yeah, we're about to get underway then. Thanks Elmo for a quick interview there. So yeah, 33 starters. We've got an NRT driver on pole, and then we alternate between road appraiser and NRC all the way down to 5th place. Should be getting underway any minute now, apparently, according to Elmo. The second race is still reverse grid, even though we've had a one-shot quali here today, so still got that to look forward to in around about, I guess, about 15 minutes time. Once this race gets underway, I'm sure the first race will not go down without some sort of drama. It's sort of come to be expected at this point. This is our second visit to Rockingham this season already. We're only at round 6, but we had an FXR round here a couple of weeks ago. Someone's making their way behind the pit road. Rick has decided to go for a bit of an expedition around the infield. Still waiting to get going here. Bit of a false alarm from Elmo, but can't blame him. He's only trying to help. Seeing lots of broken cars strewn all over the side of the track during practice is never a good omen. Hope everybody gets away cleanly. As far as I know, we've got the bitrate on this server set to the highest value, so cars shouldn't be jumping around that much. So yeah, with about 30 seconds of lap time, this race should be just over 10 minutes, maybe pushing 11 minutes long. So another really short race. We might be thankful for that. I don't think cars are going to be lapping each other in that time. But you never know. We are racing. we've got quite a lot of cars here. We've got Silver alongside Unite on the front row here. And then, as I said, it alternates between Road Appraiser and NRT drivers, Nordic Racing Team. Here we go then, the lights coming on for 21 laps of Rockingham Oval in the XRR. Round 6 is underway. As Silver gets a good start, pulls ahead of Nico. Then further behind we've got a little bit of side-by-side action already, which is good to see, between Road Appraiser and NRT into turn 2. Nice and clean. Got people lifting off in the background. The aero effect is quite prominent on this track. Got cars off on the infield, the apron. We've got a crash behind as well. Big crash with got four WCL drivers, 4 WCL drivers involved. Pretty much the entire WCL contingent involved, and it looks like Elmo's been caught out as well. Elmo's car is severely broken. So yeah, that's not great. Elmo limps back to the pits. We've got GP leading the race, followed by Unite now. And Silver's dropped back to 3rd, so the drafting has already started happening. We're going to have some lapped cars leaving the pits as Unite moves to the inside. Contact, gets tagged a little bit by Pete, hits the wall. Now Silver's alongside. We've got 2 abreast, 3 wide now. There's been plenty of practice races going into this, but there's been a huge contact there. That'll be Pedro's race over, and TJ, as they both fall down. So it's an NRT 1-2-3. I'm sure that'll be looked at after the race. Unite in 4th. It's a good effort from NRT. Pending any post-race penalties for that incident, of course. Don't know whose fault that was, looking at it. Zeroni goes up the inside of Kryn. Kryn and Zeban chasing down Roni. We've got another crash. Who's that off? Don't know who that was off. Is that Nico again? No, Nico is still here with these 3. That was I think that was a Road Appraiser guy, or maybe a B2R driver in the wall. No, it wasn't either. So yeah, Silver's pulling out a bit of a lead here. Then we've got Salmon and GP who are together, and for some reason Unite's completely dropped off the back. He's lost their draft completely, so really good effort and good teamwork from the NRT guys up ahead. Managing to open up a gap after only 3 or 4 laps. Working together, drafting, so yeah, Unite's going to need to drop back and work with Gabor here if he's going to stand any chance of catching up to those guys, because he won't get the draft from there unless the guys ahead make a mistake, which at this point is looking quite unlikely. So Kryn, Zeban and Roni still battling together. They need to work together. A 3-man draft train around here doesn't really work. It's often better to split up into groups of 2. It can work sometimes on the KY1 oval, but here it's going to be not that effective. But they'll have to sort themselves out and work out what's best. So yeah, got Silver, got GP and Salmon, and just trying to draft together to catch up to Silver in front. Unite has dropped into the clutches of Gabor, who hopefully they can start working together now and start catching up to the pair in front. It's going to be 14 laps to go after the next corner. So yeah, Unite and Gabor working together nicely there. Now, Jay Catilla's caught up to the trio that were drafting in front. So we've got 2 pairs of 2 at this point. Jay Catilla's going to want to start drafting with one of these guys, or just try and keep out of trouble and get to the front and pull away if he can. Moves up the inside of Zeban. It's 2 abreast. Roni pulls in behind Kryn. So Kryn is leading this pack now. Catilla up the inside of everybody. Forces Kryn a bit wide. And Kryn's got sideways. And he's going to be in the wall, is he? Yeah, in the wall backwards. So He'll have to make his way back on track, but that's pretty much his race over. So yeah, Zeban has dropped off the back of Roney and Jay Catilla. So Jay Catilla and Roney can start to work together to catch up to... There's a back marker now in between Roney and Unite, so who's this back marker here? They're going to have to make their way through. Moves out the way very nicely. So yeah, Roney's now in a drafting pair with Catilla. Zeban's now with Ayub and Frank. So Frank's made up quite a few places since qualifying. Got a TRR driver on the on the infield there. It's Crin. So Crin's had a... Oh yeah, of course, Crin rejoined from his spin earlier. It looks like his car's pretty damaged. Will he pull into the pits? Yes, he will. So that's his race well and truly over now. Silver's still out front. Salmonen in second. GP in third. But he has definitely lost contact with Salmonen. So Salmonen and GP have been split up, probably by an accident or a back marker. And now that's meant that GP is under threat from this drafting pair of Gabor and Unite, who have caught up. So the third spot on the podium is not yet sealed for NRT. Unless GP can somehow regain a bit of a gap from Unite and Gabor, who seem to be working very well together in this drafting pair to catch up with GP. Only a matter of time before they catch up if they keep going like this. It only takes one of them to get into a good enough slipstream, and well, it's a three-man draft train. I think it's going to happen on the next straight. I think there's going to be... Okay, that was close. That wasn't the cleanest of moves there. It's going to be another lap at least. Gabor's dropped off a little bit, so it's really difficult to get back in the draft around here because the corners are quite tight. Anyone who's used to KY1 on LFS will know that it's a bit more forgiving with the slipstream than RO4 than RO2, the oval. Gabor and Unite side by side again. This time is just letting GP edge further away. So yeah, GP has lived to fight another day. These two are going to have to work harder than that to catch up. Need to sort themselves out. Need to get into a nice rhythm. Need to drop back in the slipstream, maybe wait a couple of corners and then slingshot yourself past. It should be a huge advantage drafting as a pair, so... GP's just walking away. Okay, so yeah, Silver's having to navigate some traffic. He's getting past the TRI driver there. Salmon's going to be next to overtake the back markers. GP's definitely pulling away from Unite and Gabor. Gabor's dropping off the back of Unite now. Then we have to go all the way back to the first corner to find Catilla and Zeban. Roney's now dropped off the back of Catilla and Zeban because of the accident before. And it's Michael and Frank. Frank's also lost out of position. He was in 9th, he's now in 10th. It's T. Paulson. And Pedro. Pedro unlucky in the opening crash that happened a couple of laps in. Then it's Gemini. We've got Ayub lifting through the final corner and hitting the wall. Then it's Hydro. Rocky's made up a lot of places. He's up to 16th. It's a good effort. He's kept himself out of trouble. And it's Trespasser following him and Texas behind. Got Magic, who's got a really broken rear left. So he's either hit the wall or he's been involved in some sort of collision. Behind him it's TRR Alonso. J.A. Catilla is with him. Ricardo's almost a whole lap down, those guys, so he's not had a very good start. He must have been involved in the early incidents. He's pitted for fresh car. Yes, fast. Someone we're very used to seeing at the front is not at the front at all. He's in 23rd. He's going to be overtaken by Elmo. Yeah, Elmo is another lap down on fast, so Elmo's still a lap down. Contact. Who's that going slowly? Another TRR driver going very slowly there on the racing line. Not what you want. And here are the leaders coming through. Silver side by side with Elmo. Salmonen is going to have to navigate past fast. Does so. Expect Marcus needs to do better than this and getting out of the way, or at least moving to the high line through corners. Salmonen's on. Silver's on the horn. Silver gets clear. Salmonen's going to get caught by GP if he's not careful here, as he's navigating around another TRR driver there. And look who's caught up to GP now. It's Unite. Unite's going to be up the inside of GP into the last corner. It's no longer an NRT podium, so Unite's going to be trying to now break ahead of GP, and he does. Gets an absolutely mega run out of the last corner and has just slingshotted himself up into a podium position. So he's now looking up the gearbox of T Salmonen for second place. Will the traffic work in his favour and bring him closer? I think Gabor's now. Yeah, Gabor is now making his way past GP. So GP at risk of losing out on podium side-by-side contact. Door rubbing. Gabor moves up to 4th, so hopefully GP can stay with him now and work his way back up front. It's not insurmountable. Oh, it is insurmountable. We're currently on the last lap. This race has gone really quickly. I've even lost track of it. So we got a little bit hairy at the end, where lots of lap cars were interacting with the leaders of the race. But S Silver's led it from start to finish. Just about. Rounds the final corner. Takes the win, followed by Salmonen, and Unite will take 3rd, and then it's GP and Gabor. GP just about gets ahead of Gabor. Then it's Zeban and Catilla. Yeah, I mean, we'll run down the full order in a minute. Jay Catilla followed by Roni. Then we had Pedro across the line next, followed by Michael, Gemini, Frank, Poulsen, Hydro, Ayub, Trespasser. Then Rocky in 17th, Texas in 18th, Magic in 19th, J.A. Catilla in 20th, Rick Cardle 21st, Fast in 22nd, Elmo 23rd, Ben in 24th. Then we have Sweeney, Koivunen, Kryn, Boz, Ivor and TJ with 3 non-finishers. So pole for next race could be one of the 3 that didn't finish, or depending on how it works this week, it'll be Alonso on pole. I know someone else has just finished. I think that was Sick. I know Sick's just joined the track again. So yeah, Alonso may be on pole for this one. The next one, which will be very shortly, I imagine. We've got someone waiting for an interview. It's the winner. It is Silver, so we'll drag him in and have a quick chat. Hi, Silver.
Hi.
Congrats. That was pretty start to finish stuff.
Yeah, that's the quality. I was like, I saw the 2 ES drivers or something in the top on the quality there, so we was a little bit scared, but it was a lag that happened in one of the first laps or something that made me and Salman go free. So
Yeah,
that was.
You seem to just have a better setup, or have done loads of practice, or something. You just pulled away from everybody.
Yeah, we worked a lot with the setup this time. We know that these kind of races isn't about it's not all about the times that it's here because it's so close. So yeah, but it's fantastic to come and win this.
Yeah, I mean it was looking like a 1-2-3 until a couple of laps before the end, when GP got held up with some traffic, and Unite managed to get in his draft and get a huge slingshot out of the last corner and just managed to open up a gap that then GP couldn't make it back up again and had to kind of battle with Gabor for 4th place.
Yeah.
Back for the next race.
Yeah, that should be interesting.
Interesting is one way to put it. Yeah. Could be.
We will see. We will see. Yeah, but the battle for the 4th there was we wanted to as the points are now, the 2 fastest drivers and everything, that the point system thing. So Gavin was like trying to gain a position and just try to have a battle if someone did a mistake it could have gone in our favor and stuff. So we just drive our style and look who is fastest, and race 2 is up for grabs, and we will see. We'll get the most points out of this race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, it's looking like you're going to be moving ahead at the top of the table now, because Yes Motorsport didn't have a very good race at all, except your Knight, who managed to get up to a podium position. But yeah, you two were flying away at front. So if you can keep yourself out of trouble for the next race, you might be able to get some spicy points in the next one as well.
Yeah, I think so. The drafting is it's dangerous here, because it's you draft and then it comes a corner and everything can we can crash in the next corner. So it's hard, but we will see. Try to just overtake clean and make the best out of it.
So from someone who did really well in that race and managed to stay out of trouble and just drive away at the front, we go to someone who managed the complete
Didn't
opposite.
make the first lap.
Someone who didn't make the line at the first
I beat
lap.
everybody who pitted.
It's Elmo. we saw you get absolutely tanked and
Yes.
drive into the pit lane with a very asymmetric
Wobbly
car. Yes. You weren't involved in the biggest incident of the day. There was a 4-car WCL accident. All 4 WCL drivers were in the wall on turn 3. All sorts of problems for them. They all finished basically in the back. I think one of them even spectated, but yeah. Soini, Koiven and Boz and someone else was involved in a huge
5 WCLs finished.
Okay, so yeah, one of the Catillas then must have been involved in the big crash.
I think it was the JA Catilla,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Jay
Yeah.
didn't finish 7.
because I overtook him.
Yeah,
Oh
so-
no, that's Jay Catilla.
Yeah,
The
Yannick's-
draft. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he drafted from me actually or something. One of my teammates.
Not sure which one. Not got the results open. But yeah, any word on when the next race is going to start? Are we going to have a bit of a break before the next one?
Pass.
Because we're
Yeah, that's there.
it's scheduled to start. It's actually scheduled to start at
Now.
nearly half an hour from now. So I don't think we'll be waiting half an hour. I think the timings are a little bit out this week.
Yeah, it's fast racing, so
So. Just
but I think actually this oval race is kind of gonna look like the last week race in the race 2, because it's people are so equal on timing, and it
Yeah.
will be a hard battle for overtaking, and the draft is dangerous here in some corners, and yeah,
it's all about
So-
being
smart.
smart, exactly. Just knowing where to put your car and knowing when to send it and when to back off, basically. So
A tip is that not holding a full throttle when you're drafting when you're coming into a corner. That's a big tip from me, actually, because
yeah,
that
you
will.
can't keep your foot pinned
No.
around here. It's just not going to work. So
I will need to go to the other chat, but it's a pleasure to talk with you both, and
cool. Have fun.
Good luck.
Get ready for the start of the next race.
yes, bye.
Bye.
Are you going to head off too, or are you going to stick around? It's up to
Race starts at 3 minutes, so
you. 3 minutes. Okay.
don't know.
Fair enough.
Stick around for a bit.
All right.
Nothing else to do.
Where are you starting for the next race?
Depending on LFS, 8th.
Oh, goody. Well,
Yeah.
at least you've got a
So
high
it'll be a
start
bit
position.
further back than that probably because of LFS, but yeah,
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
should be 8.
Should be 8th. All right. Well, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Server going okay? Was it
practice starts.
running nice
I
and
didn't
smoothly?
notice any weirdness. I haven't looked on the actual server, but the cars all seem to be behaving. So
What's the packets per second set to?
6.
6. So that's currently LFS's highest, isn't it?
The highest you can set in game, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that is actually the highest, but
Doesn't
Yeah.
seem like enough, does it really?
no.
No. Hopefully that improves in future years with the changes that are coming to LFS. It would be nice to get a few more position packets per second, Scowen, if you're listening, which you're not, but yeah.
And faster MCI refresh.
Yeah, get your instant requests in here, folks.
25 Hz is not enough.
Yeah. Yeah, we shouldn't really use the stream for our own benefit. So yeah, the next race should be getting underway in a couple of minutes. I'll let you get back to it, Mo. And yeah, good luck. Speak to you afterwards.
Right. Hang up.
Have a good one.
See ya.
So yeah, we're just about to get underway here for the next race. 21 laps again, reverse direction, same car, same track. If you're just joining us, we're running the XRR at the Rockingham Oval. The first race was pretty juicy, quite clean at the front, a little bit of barging later on as the laps died away, but towards the back it was the same story, lots of incidents. That's probably going to be compounded when you put lots of cars next to each other on an oval where the error loss through the corners is pretty high and the experience up and down the field is quite varied. Off we go then for race 2. So at the front we have TJ, who got absolutely mugged after the first race. Elmo is down in 9th, he expected to start 8th but he's starting 9th. Next to TJ on the grid is Ivor, another driver who got absolutely destroyed at the start. The lights are on. And we're away. Race 2 of round 6 of the TRR 2020 Championship. TJ gets a great start, Ivor gets a terrible start. He's already down to 3rd, maybe 4th after the next corner. TJ leads everyone away. Let's keep the camera in the middle of the pack, see what's going on. 4 wide. Elmo decides to back off, probably smart. We've got all these WCL drivers who were caught out in the first race. We've got someone sideways there, that was a TRR driver on his roof. I think that might have been magic actually of race screen. Huge accident at the back. One of the drivers involved in that is fast, I can see. Someone on their roof at turn 1. The last corner, sorry. Got people leaving the pits. So yeah, TJ with Kryn and Boz, who was involved in the WCL crash at the beginning, is now up to the last race, sorry. He's up to 3rd. Ivor, 4th. Ben, 5th. P. Koivunen in 6th. Rick Cardle in 7th. Fast didn't get caught out, so it's one of his teammates at Yes Motorsport that got caught out. Fast is in 7th. Rick in 8th now. Trespasser in 9th. Catilla 10th. J.A. Catilla. Michael in 11th. Elmo's been pushed all the way down to 12th. Sorry, not 12th, 16th. So starting 8th, he's down to 16th. And here come the NRT crew from the back. Highest up so far is G. Pete. He's got Salmon and Silver a little bit further in the background. The advantage of these pink skins is that you can see him from a mile away. The only other car that's as bright is Roni, who's just up ahead in 14th. He's trying to battle with Frank. GP makes his way past Elmo and also Hydro. So GP's absolutely flying here. He's up to 15th. TJ's opened up a bit of a gap at the front to Kryn. P. Koivunen. Then it's Fast, Boz, Ben, Rick, Trespasser, Catilla. Everyone in a line, side by side here between Ben. Ben's been tagged by Cardle. He's in the wall. Everyone's gonna try and avoid him. He's gonna have to wait and let everyone through. Hopefully he doesn't tag anyone. Ah, sheesh. Okay, so that's Alonso, his teammate that he's just taken out. Or, I don't know, Alonso might have aimed for him. Did look a little bit weird. TJ's going to come up to this mess in a minute, but hopefully they've all spectated or moved on. As TJ rounds the last corner, we've got Alonso on the inside. Is he on the racing line? I mean, he's not far off it. He needs to spectate, and there we go. That was inevitable, wasn't it? I mean, that's absolutely negligent. Alonso's destroyed the race by leaving his car on its roof at the last corner. I don't know what to say about that. There was an NRT driver and a WCL driver involved in that. I'm going to take a guess and guess it was J.A. Katila and... who was the other NRT driver involved in that? Was it Silver? No. Was it Paulson? I think it was Paulson. Paulson is no longer on the track, so J.A. Katila and Paulson were taken out by a car of Alonso parked on its roof at turn 4. Got Koivunen moving around the outside of the back marker there. Fast is up to 4th. Boz is down to 5th at this point. And there's a big gap back to Rick and this battle for 5th place between Rick, Michael, GP and Roney. GP's made his way around the outside of Roney. That's a nice move. Let's see on board from GP's perspective. You can see that the gap doesn't have to be that big and you completely lose the draft effect because the straights at the Rockingham Oval are just so short. By the time you're in the corners, you're at the mercy of the aerodynamics on your car, so you can't really make that many gains. GP is gaining slightly on Michael, so the draft effect is having some influence, especially considering that GP is able to make a much tighter line through that last corner than Michael was able to. So Michael's line is slightly too wide through the last corner, and GP's been able to draft right up to the back of him. Is he going to make a move? He does, to oval turn 2. Michael's going to have another go back at him probably, unless he just decides to stick in his draft. So yeah, Michael and Pete are now in a drafting train, working together to catch up to Rick in front. Trespasser's a little bit on his own here, with Silver down in 11th, so GP's done really well to get up to 8th from the back, and he's currently battling with Michael for 7th. Roney's caught up to these two again, so that's going to be a three-man draft. GP wigging around quite a lot. No, Roney had to lift off a bit there, so GP back in front. TJ crosses the line to make this race halfway done as we pass on to lap 11. 11 laps to go. My mistake. Crin behind. And P. Koivunen side by side with Fast. Then we have to go back to Boz and Rick, GP and Roney, who have dropped Michael slightly. Michael's now battling with Trespasser, and that's Silver who's joining the fray. So Michael's been left a little bit by that duo ahead, losing out a few more positions. Michael down in 11th place currently. Elmo's made a bit more ground. He did drop down to 16th, but he's made his way back up to 12th, so only a net loss of 6 places from the start. Solid mid-grid result. Then we've got Unite, so Unite made his way from finishing 3rd last race, so he would have been 3rd from the back in this race, and he's currently up to 13th, so he didn't make as much ground as GP has, but still decent haul of points. That's what you need. Consistently high finishes are what is going to win this series. We've got Frank in 14th with Iva, who was starting 2nd in this race. He's dropped down all the way to 15th position. Then it's J. Katila, one of the only WCL drivers that seems to have kept out of trouble so far, touch wood, in this race. It's T. Soini behind. And we've got Zivan in 18th. Pedro. And then it's Rocky battling with Texas. Texas on the outside, Rocky on the inside. Got MRC Gemini behind. Let's go on more with Gemini and see how he picks off these guys. So Gemini working with Rocky and Texas, lifts off, decides better of it, fair enough. Just wants to let these two sort themselves out. Gemini goes really wide out in the draft there and hits the wall, in fact. Loses out another place to T. Salmonen. So unless Gemini's picked up some damage there, I'd say that was just an aero effect being too close. It looks like he's got a bit of damage in the front, so it's possible that the splitter is dragging and giving him a bit more understeer around these fast corners than he wants. Let's see how Salmon deals with the traffic. Oh, he's actually crashed into the back of Rocky and gets a bit of a slide on. So that's not going to help him. 7 laps to go. Crin's going to round the last... Not Crin, TJ is going to round the last corner to start his next lap. Then we've got Crin. We've got Fast. And Koivunen. And Boz. So yeah, 2 WCL drivers in the top 5. I don't think that's happened many times in this series so far. I know that Jay Catilla's done quite well in a couple of them. Got Roney still battling with GP. GP's still in 8th position. He's been caught a little bit by his teammate Silver. Silver's currently the closest driver to him in terms of the points from the previous race and this race. Yeah, only 1 position away now as he's moved past Trespasser. So GP in 8th and his teammate Silver in 9th, side by side with Trespasser. Trespasser with a bit of lag by the looks of it, tiny amount of lag. So yeah, Trespasser and Silver are drafting here. They're going to have a bit of traffic to deal with. We'll see how they deal with this traffic. They let them through before oval turn 3, it's nice. TJ comes across the line to start, 4 laps to go. Lap 18. Fast up to 3rd, Koivunen 4th. Rick's got past Boz and is now up to 5th, so Boz slips down to 6th. Got these 2 pairs have got the pair of GP and Roney still working together to try and stay ahead of Silver and Trespasser. So I don't think there's time for Roney and GP to catch up with Boz in the 3 laps that remain. They just need to keep it clean and then go for their move on the last lap, the last corner even, to get the position. So this is where oval strategy is going to start coming into play. This is the highest up battle on track, so we'll stay with it. So GP is going to want to be in this position he is now, coming into the final lap, so that Roney can't have a go back at him on the next lap. Now, I spoke too soon because Boz has been caught by GP and Roney here. A little bit of commentator's curse. Boz moves to the outside, gets a bit of a wiggle on. Pete gives him a bit of a beep. So keep it clean. It's 2 laps to go. You don't want to be doing any heroics now. So yeah, now this is the 3-man draft train. Our Trespasser and Salmon are going to catch up to this in the 2 laps that remain. We're on to the last lap now. Contact between GP and Boz. Roney goes slide. Roney's in the wall. So yeah, what did I say? Keep it clean on the last 2 laps, else you're going to lose out. P. Koivunen up to 4th. Rick up to 5th. Boz 6th. GP's now back down to 7th. And Silver's all over him. So the last lap looks like it's had a bit of action. But here comes TJ. He's caught up to a bit of back markers, but it doesn't matter. Because TJ wins race 2 of round 6, followed by Crin and Fast. And Koivunen in 4th. Cardle. Then it's Boz. Then it's the NRT duo of GP and Silver, followed by Yes Motorsport Unite, Yes Trespasser, B2R Ivor, J Catilla. Then it's Elmo crossing the line in 13th. Then we've got Roney, who had a bit of an unlucky last penultimate lap, but ultimately the oval veteran has not had a fantastic second race. He was quite high up and lost a couple of positions there at the end. Yeah, so yeah, Roney down the positions there. Not the best of starts to that race, especially with the cars who didn't spectate and just left their cars on the track in oval turn 4 for J.A. Catilla and or the WCL driver and I can't remember who the other driver was. Was it T. Paulson who crashed into Alonso at the last corner? Not good to see that, but I'm sure those bumps will be ironed out as the season goes along. I'm sure that's a hefty penalty for someone involved in that. because we don't like to see that. Let's see if anyone's ready for an interview. Not just yet, so we'll give them a bit of time. But otherwise, that rounds up round 6 of the TRR 2020 Championship. Elmer does want a word. Hello.
Hello.
Up and down again.
Yeah.
A little bit. You seem to have all the fun in these races.
My right front was 150 degrees.
How?
I don't know. I think I must have got a massive draft of understeer at some point, but yeah,
Or you bent it or
never cooled
something, I
down
don't know.
then. No, it was fine. Well, I bent it later, but it was fine.
Who did you get your setup off?
Adam,
Who didn't even turn up? Okay.
which was a KY1 setup that I made less understeery, but evidently not enough.
You're supposed to be upholding the honour of our team. Using KY1 setups here is not a good idea. Oh man.
Well,
Our
short of
standards
having
have slipped.
2 weeks of actual graph to work out how to do an oval setup, because I've never actually done one before.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
Did you enjoy it?
yeah, it was alright.
Okay, well that's all that matters then, isn't it? What are we on to next? Do we know? Should probably look this up before the races, shouldn't I?
Yes, you should. I have
Yes.
got it open somewhere. Of course, because it's me. I never close anything.
You can guarantee that it's open somewhere, but you're never quite sure where.
LX4 FE1R.
I did know that. So a very, very short track again. Very
13
short.
laps.
Yeah, extremely short track at Fern Bay with the LX4. So Rocky likes
That'll
giving
be
us
interesting.
tricky combinations
Yeah.
and combinations that don't really suit masses of tail-happy cars. But
At least it's not the LX6.
well, there is that. At least it isn't the LX6. Well, I wouldn't have a problem with the LX6. That would be fun, but the LX4 is probably a more suitable car for that track. FE1 is club. It's the tiny one.
First. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go down towards the chicane first, and then you go up the hill, up the little cut through, and then down towards the beach through the other chicane into a hairpin.
That's gonna be fun.
I love that combo. I mean,
Yeah, I do like that one. Not
Yeah.
sure I've particularly done it in the LX4 before, but
I wonder if it
I've
would
done it in
be.
quite a few things.
I wonder if it'd be unorthodox if every so often, if there's a combo I enjoy, I do my commentary from the cockpit of my own car.
It's been done on V8 supercars. Or the 12 hour, the old 12 hour.
It would be a pretty biased view,
Yes,
so
it would.
I don't know if that's actually a good idea. Even though that does sound like an extremely fun combo to do.
I can't remember who it was, but they used to have somebody who'd commentate from the car. I think it was an Evolvo or something, all the way over the mountain.
All right, we've
And
got
somehow not crash.
We've got Silver waiting for an interview. I'll just drag him in. Hi, Silver.
Hi.
How was your race? The race 2 not as successful as race 1, but you still managed to gain a hell of a lot of positions and finish 9th. Was it in the end?
Eighth.
8th. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, because Ronnie dropped back. Yep.
Yeah, it was interesting, but yeah, I don't know. Me and Trespasser had a fucking awesome fight for like 3 laps or something. We just overtook each other every corner, and yeah, we lost a little bit of time there, but it was fun. I love these oval races.
They're good. I mean, there was a couple of unfortunate moments. I think your teammate Paulson was taken out at the last corner.
Yeah, people didn't spec and when you're not looking at the minimap when you're driving oval and having 3 cars around you. So when you're coming into the last corner and all of a sudden seeing a car standing in the middle of the road, it's hard to avoid that.
Alonso should have spectated out of that. He's currently waiting for an interview, so I can make his life very awkward.
Yeah.
Don't know if I fancy doing that, so I'll leave him out for now. Because it's etiquette. You don't leave your car sat in the middle of the road if you can help it, especially in a series that doesn't have safety cars or full course yellows or anything. Just get out of the road, because someone's going to be going too wide through that last corner. You're going to be unsighted and you're going to cause a huge accident, which is what happened. So really irresponsible. But yeah, you got your teammate GP got ahead of you quite quickly at the beginning, and then you sort of managed to hunt him down at the end because he kept getting caught out with his own draft battles. but you couldn't quite get close enough to make up the place at the end to be the well, I suppose you'll still be the highest points winner from this round, but it would have been nice to be the person that made the best progress in both races, I suppose.
No, but I started in the back, and when it was our tactic that Gavin he was further away, and the same was Paulson, but Paulson got taken out, so we needed to take the risk and have that Gavin is driving fast as hell and trying to push people, like trying to battling with people, so me and Salman could overtake, because we were the two most scored in the first race. So, but I got hold up by some battles throughout the first laps, and that's how it is when you're starting in the back. And but I think the tactic and everything that we've done today is just totally correct, and how we managed to get the most point out of the teams, I guess, is just awesome, and see the comeback after what have happened to the team and what they've in the last races, what they've been talking about and everything like that. But yeah, it's fine to see that we progress and see the numbers going our way.
Yeah, I mean it's good. I mean it's very obvious when there's three of you at the front that something's working well for you, and especially with the progress you made in the second race. Yeah, a bit unexpected considering that quite a few drivers who featured very prominently in the other races weren't really at the front this time. So you got Fast, who was okay, he was at the front of the second race, but only because he got mugged in the first race. And people like Gabor, who shone last week, but really didn't make much progress this week. I guess it's a case of some combos suiting some people and other combos not suiting other people. The
I think Gabor got taken out.
Possibly, I didn't.
Yeah, he crashed and spectated and came out.
I think he was side by side with someone in race one and hit the wall. Maybe that damage was just like enough, and they just wanted to capitalize on the second race or something. But either way,
because I overtook him in the race too.
Yeah, either way, it did look like there was again a lot of irresponsible driving in this round, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be brought up in the stewards meeting, because we need to start clearing out drivers that are continually causing problems. Yeah, because it's ruining the fun for some people. Yeah, especially at the front, because there's a lot of good racing to be had at the front. We're now starting to realise who the front runners are in this series. So yeah, it's time to clear out shop and make the racing clean.
Yeah, I think now I'm talking about my teammates now, but Paulson, he have been like showing his speed every time, but when it comes to the race, and you can see that people doing mistakes, and then every time it's Paulson that's up in that mistake too. So he has unfortunately lost a lot of points, and haven't showed his driving style quite yet, but his pace is awesome, but he haven't gotten the luck so far to get those points that we know he got in him.
Yeah, I'm just gonna bring up the replay of the stream actually for the incident that did happen in race 2.
Yeah, I want to see that too, because I was a little bit in the back there.
It was really, really not good to see on the track, but I want to see how it actually materialized.
I just saw like two drivers in the air, and I was like trying to avoid everything, and got a little bit hit in the rear that made my tires go a little bit. And yeah,
I saw 3 drivers in the air at one point. I'm not sure if it's
there was a crash between oval turn 3 and oval turn 4.
Is 4 the last corner?
Yeah, there's only 4 corners on this oval. Yeah, so I found the incident. So we'll queue it up on the stream if you wanna have a look. Let's see. So here we've got Alonso, who is approaching the last corner. There's someone already crashed out. It's Ben. Now, Alonso's line here, he could quite easily avoid this. So let's see what we got. Let's go back a bit. So here he
Yeah,
comes.
sitting.
He
He's sitting on
cut
the
the
inside.
apron.
Here he
which
comes,
gave
here he
him a
comes.
wobble.
So he comes onto the apron. Bit of a wobble. Now,
What?
yes, Ben kind of drove at him a little bit here. Let's go back a bit.
But what happened to Ben? Why didn't?
I don't know why
He-
Ben didn't spec, but Ben's obviously recovering from an incident. So let's go to Ben here. Where's Ben on the list? Ben,
Further up.
I can't see him.
Further
There
up.
he is. Yeah,
Over
yeah.
Cat left.
So Ben is moving at this point. Let's go to slow-mo. So Ben's moving back into. He brakes. So Ben realizes his mistake, and I don't know what there. I don't know if Alonso's lost it there or he's just decided to drive into him.
Well, I don't know.
Let's go back a bit and have another
I
objection.
think he thought that he lost it.
Well,
That's the issue. He
let's-
thought that he lost it and then overreacted.
let's
on
try
the
with
track.
sound this time. Okay, he lost it. So into Ben. But then this next incident that happens, he's on his roof. Yeah, you should have spectated by this point. So you sat there, basically on the racing line, on your roof, and the inevitable is going to happen.
I didn't see that he was on the roof.
Yeah, because
Did
he
he
spectated.
crash?
You'll see what happens. So get a load of this. You're on your roof, on the racing line.
Yeah.
There goes Ben. So Ben rejoins, fair enough. So Alonso's still sat here. Let's speed up. Here comes the trainer cars. So here we've got someone losing it. Who's that?
That's Cat. Yeah, the Cat. J.A. Cat.
J.A. Catilla. So J.A. Catilla's already lost it on entry. There would have been yellow flags being shown. Let's not forget that. But in these races, you do not expect a car on his roof in the middle of the racing line on the oval. So anyway, inevitably, boom, Poulsen also gets taken out in that incident, and the three of them fly off. Catch fence does its job, and I'm going to guess Poulsen's going to land right in the way of everybody else here. Ivor gets completely taken out by Poulsen. Poulsen spectates. Catilla's still here. Alonso has spectated at this point, right? I can't see him anywhere. Yeah, I guess he's already spectated.
Yeah, before he hit the ground.
Catilla
Yeah.
and Salmonen. Oh, Salmonen just avoids it, but then Hydro's going to get taken out in that. So all that carnage, and Catilla's going to take out Sick. Yeah, so there goes Sick rolling off on his roof. Sick actually gets on his roof into the pit lane. Oh my goodness, and then he gets a stop go. So.
Yeah, I saw that Solomon and he lost control of that, and then he came across me, and then I saw he hitting another car, and then he came into me. So I thought that he gonna hit me, that car who Solomon hit it.
In a series like this, you do not want to be sat on your roof on a racing line. It was unfortunate that J.A. Catilla lost it like that. Let's see how.
Yeah, he hit
unfolded.
the inside.
Again, people dropping it on the apron. So yeah, you can see on the screen here that I'm guessing Catilla's going to have a yellow flag, and he's going to have it now. No? Yeah, there. So there's a yellow flag on his screen. Yellow flag on his screen. Goes to the apron, loses it, and then bang, Poulsen, and then it's all over. There were some incidents earlier on this race, I think, unless it happened later on. I know that was it Magic was involved? Yeah. So Magic's already right down at the bottom. It must have been on like lap 1 or something. Let's see what happened here. So
Yeah, I look in the chat now what Shouldover says. He says the same thing as me, that Alonso, when he came into that corner, he overreacted.
Magic went into the back of Texas at the start, and then Cholover hit. Well, Magic actually rolled it, and then Rocky hit him.
Yeah, that was on the back straight, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm coming behind her and avoiding everything.
Yikes. That's crazy.
It's so scary when it's so many cars like crashing out like that, because you don't know where every car is coming from.
Well, there's going to be lots to discuss after this race. yeah, well, thanks for joining me. And I look forward to next week's FE1 at Fernbay Club with the LX4. How long are
Yep.
the races? 13 laps, did you say, Mo?
Yeah,
So,
13.
yeah, another short set of races. So, yeah, I'm being asked to look at race 1, lap 3. So I guess we could go to race 1 and see what happened.
Yeah, I got spammed in the chat on our Discord too. That's from Gavin.
See what happened on lap 3 of race 2. I can't quite remember. So it's lap 3. Here's the start of lap 3. Everyone's still really close together. Gee. Oh wow, that's a big crash. That must be what they're talking about. So let's have a look. Oh wow. Okay. So yeah, this was
We wanna see too.
this one that was on the stream. So yeah, here we go. Let's back it up a bit.
Oh, is that the incident between all the RP guys?
Yes, is the short answer. Yes, it was. All the RP guys at the back just getting absolutely.
Yeah,
murdered.
because I think they were 3 wide with Gavin, I think, and it lagged out.
This 3 wide here. This is not. So when did this start? So let's go on board with GP for this because it looks like something's happened here. 3 wide in here. I mean, the last time I saw 3 wide in Rockingham Turn 1 was at an actual race at Rockingham with the minis, and it ended in tears. Ended up with Mikey in the wall, actually. So yeah, GP goes, oh, let's make it 3 wide with Unite, and then, oh, I'm not done, let's make it 3 wide with TJ, and then Pedro tags him, and wahey, GP survived. What? How? Okay, well that's just luck, isn't it? I mean, I love that. Boop, boop. Well, I don't know if that's Brazilian ping or whether
I
that's
think
just beep, beep. That's one way to get rid of them, I suppose. But the mistake there was Pedro's. Pedro got a bit of a wobble on. There is enough room, obviously, to go 3 wide there, but when you've got high pings, it's always going to end in tears, isn't it? So, oops, I've got the camera on follow mode, so we're going to miss the incident. Brilliant. Free. And then Roni, and who's that who gets tagged?
a trespasser.
Fast and Trespasser also. So that's why they didn't finish very high up in race 1, is because they got involved in that accident. TJ as well. So yeah, TJ and Pedro getting absolutely slaughtered by.
And again, Paulson.
And Paulson sideways. How did that happen? It must have been him getting.
No, I think the lag, or the guy who was on the inside or outside hit the Paulson.
So here's Paulson here. Yeah, it's TJ, isn't it? It's TJ just getting. Gemini gets caught out in that one as well. So Gemini carries on, and that's why he wasn't able to. Yeah, so that explains why Gemini wasn't able to follow in people's drafts afterwards, because he had some damage. Basically, he'd get in someone's draft out of the last corner and would just run wide into the wall. So yeah, that's why he wasn't up to speed.
That was generally my problem because my right front I couldn't keep up in the last corner.
When did you get tagged, Mo? When was your accident?
In the second race, nothing major. In the first race, lap 1.
Okay, well let's watch you on board on lap 1 then. Here's Elmo's start.
I avoided one and there was another one right in front.
Right, so.
Oh, I think I overtook on one place where you had lost some speed or something.
On board with Elmo.
I lost speed from avoiding things and getting blocked quite a lot in both races.
It's a fun banking to start on, right back there.
Yeah.
the rear just drops away.
Especially with a massive turbo.
Go 0.4 bar on the turbo and just pump it. That's a tip. we practiced start this because of how much we needed to gain in the start.
Bye, Mo. Bye.
Oh, really?
Oh, mate. That's a bad start, isn't it?
Oh, it was perfect timing. I was going to hit by Texas.
You
just
got
as I hit the
sandwiched
car.
completely. Look at this car. Look at this beautiful suspension damage that you've got there. That's
Oh.
absolutely lovely. Let's go.
It was
back.
interesting getting back to the pits.
Look at this.
Just look at this, the slow motion when you're turning right. It's just.
This is the best thing, though. Out of this incident, I know it's terrible, but look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Right, let's watch on board from Boz. He's not going to forgive me for this, but I think it has to be done. Watch how this ends. Let's go back to the beginning a little bit. Right, so yeah, here comes Boz. Look who we've got ahead over here.
Oh, what?
Yeah, watch this. I noticed this on the stream. So Boz is like, oh well, under we go. And then, oh look, it's my teammate. And then, what? It's just,
Sandwiched into the wall.
this is great advert. If you want to get involved with this, these guys drive for world-class Lions. Look at them. Look at these guys. Look at them. Only one of them is pointing in the right direction. It wasn't their fault. I don't know. It wasn't their fault.
Lined up.
All four of them. I mean, there's only one other on track, and yeah.
I think there must have been 6 this time.
There's 5 of them, and
5 finished race 1.
there's Koivunen. And where's Jay Catilla? Jay Catilla's there. Who else is on there? Soini. Oh yeah, Jay Catilla's slightly further ahead. He's with Frank. So yeah, I just thought four WCLs. That's so unlucky that all 4 of them get caught out in that incident. So yeah. So Jay Catilla manages to take to the apron and avoid it. But did these 3 take each other out? Hang on, no way. So you got Jay Catilla. I'm guessing he gets hit by Mo off. So
Yeah, crash in the front.
Jay Catilla's going to get tagged by Kryn. Nope. So it happens later on. So is it sick? So Koivunen's going to hit into the back of you, Mo. That's how he spins out. Well, no, he just took to the oval anyway. So Jay Catilla's lost it down here, and he's going to carry on and come out behind Frank. Cardle's going to smash into Jay Catilla, and Soini's already on the brakes, but he's also going to crash into Rick Cardle. Yeah, and then Koivunen's going to get collected by Soini. Oh man, and then that's going to take Magic out. Yeah, there goes Magic. And Elmer's in a fence already, and Boz is sideways. It's just NASCAR. Catilla gets tagged by Hydro, sends himself back into Koivunen, and then Soini's going to get sandwiched by Ben and Magic. There goes Rocky. Bye bye. Boz is going to.
I just love to see this in slow motion.
It's good, isn't it? It's just unlucky. Meanwhile, at the front. Should just film it like this next time. Just a helicopter cam. Oh,
works quite well for oval.
Rip. Yeah, I need to be on the other side. It's because it doesn't auto rotate. You just have to do it all yourself.
That's the rally stage. Oh, look who's in front.
Yeah, man. Well, anyway, an eventful race 1, and that's the reason why all the lapping of the back markers happened so late on, because that huge lap 1 incident, unfortunately, caused all of that to happen. So, all right, I think we will wrap up here because we've already gone on quite late. Join us next week for round 7 at Fernbay in the LX4. I should mention that this series is sponsored by Cholover7 and M Details, with a prize pool of over €400, or €400 exactly, not sure which. A lot of money anyway. Season goes on all year. If you fancy signing up, you can do so on the LFS forum in the TRR 2020 Championship sub-forum. Thanks for joining me, Elmo and Silver, and I'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.